There's a pattern that a lot of people don't realize they're stuck in. They think they're thinking things through, but they're actually delaying action. Overthinking doesn't feel like a problem. It feels like you're being careful. It feels like you're being you're being smart, like you're getting smarter. But if you really look at it, something else totally different is actually happening and taking place. There's a cycle where people keep going back to the same decision. They analyze it, they reconsider it, they look at it from this angle, that angle, and every other angle possible, but they don't move. And the longer that goes on, the more difficult it becomes to act. Because every new thought that you're having, every new angle, it adds another layer. It adds another option and another reason to wait. And then eventually, the decision feels heavier than it actually is. So instead of acting, they think more. But thinking doesn't remove the delay, it actually extends it. And over time, overthinking starts to feel productive. Like, oh, I'm really doing something, right? Like you're getting closer to whatever it is that you're trying to do, but nothing is actually happening. This is the same pattern again that we've spoke about. More thinking, more analyzing, and more delaying. See, overthinking isn't clarity. It's not clarity. And what it actually is hesitation that's been stretched out over a long period of time. Because real clarity doesn't keep answering questions, it removes them. See, there's a moment where something becomes simple. Not because you figured everything out, but because you stopped needing to. And that's where action truly starts. That is air hunger. The point where delay no longer feels comfortable and movement becomes the natural next step. And there's a certain type of person who begins to recognize this pattern early. They don't get stuck in endless thinking. They don't keep reopening the same decision over and over and over again. They act. They act before overthinking even has a chance to take over. And most people believe they need more clarity before they move. But what they actually need is less space to hesitate. Because the longer you sit in thought, the longer you ponder, the easier it is to stay there. And the more difficult it becomes to act. So if you find yourself overthinking a lot, it's not because you're thinking too little. It's because you haven't made a decision and you haven't moved yet. And once you see that, you start to realize something else. The problem itself isn't thinking. The problem is it's staying there where you are in that mindset too long. And the next thing to understand is what actually creates that hesitation in the first place. So subscribe, because that's what we'll be breaking down in the next video.